I haven't really personally dove into triple net lease, so I'm very interested to kind of learn about the similarities and differences from an operator perspective, but also from an investor perspective. Because I think when we were off air, you mentioned that you obviously are a broker, but you also, do some investing in this space as well. So I'll be curious to kind of get, both sides of the coin, if you will. So I guess first, I always like to learn about people's kind of origins and how they got into real estate. So how did you kind of learn about, being a broker, or were you an investor first, or kind of how did that all work?
Yeah, so it was really kind of a long journey. I started back in 2005, around the time I was graduating college. I worked with some friends to help form a new company called Disability Made Easy, which is still in existence. It's a barrier-free home modification company specializing in making homes handicap accessible for individuals with terminal illness, disability, disease, etc. I did all the sales and marketing. That was really my background. And while I was doing that, I had a lot of hands-on experience with our project manager. And we would go visit homes. And I remember, I'll never forget, this was like kind of my aha moment. We visited a home. There was an individual there who had been in a car accident. And we went into the property and we walked out. And afterwards, we walked out. I looked at the project manager. I said, "What are you going to do here? I mean, there's no way that this property could be made handicap accessible." He took out, some graph paper and a pencil, and in about 90 seconds, he sketched a brand new front elevation, new layout, and it just kind of like floored me, recognizing that you could take something in a certain status, certain situation, and add to it, even though it might look functionally obsolete. Add value, and then at the end, it's something that is suitable for its current application. So for me, that kind of really stuck with me. And as I kind of moved through the phases of my life, when it became time for me a couple of years later to buy my first home, I had the opportunity to buy a house that was move-in ready. Keep in mind, this is the middle, I should say, of the recession. And I had an opportunity to buy a house that was move-in ready, but I'd heard that one block over, there was a property that was bank owned. I reached out to the lender, got in touch with them, bought the house for a third of the price of, the fair market value of the other, managed all the renovations myself, absolutely fell in love with house flipping, as crazy as that sounds.
Yeah.
And, renovated that house, bought another house, did that. Then it became kind of like an investment thing. And at this point, I probably flipped 75 or 80 homes. And, I kind of recognized that real estate was where my passion was. I wasn't ready to dive in 100% full time yet. I was working as a development director, and then later as I ran a sales department for a title insurance agency, so I could learn about title, learn about that side of the business. And then my last stop in corporate America was at Amazon as a business development executive. All the while I was flipping houses. And I remember talking to my dad about Amazon, and he urged me to get in touch with Amazon's real estate department because, Amazon could do this amazing thing, right? Take some dirt, have somebody build a warehouse, sign a lease, and now it's gold. So I started really thinking about commercial real estate and how I wanted to get into it. And eventually, after I left Amazon, I left full-time house flipping and went to a commercial real estate brokerage, a net lease brokerage. That was about 5 years ago, and I never looked back. I've been 100% full-time in commercial real estate brokerage for the last 5 years, and loved. I would say I loved every second. There were some difficult times, but I loved just about all of it.